Yeah, 100%. Speaking of Dan to Dan, spoiler-free version, Greg, the vibe
It's good.
at an all-time high.
It's good. Yeah, like everything that they do is gold. It's great. The fighting was good. They bring back characters that we remember in a way that is meaningful and actually makes sense, unlike Go-Go Loser Ranger.
Yep.
They actually explain like what is going on, why the characters are there. I like the fact that Manjiro is like a badass also and is just like Seiko's disciple.
He was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just like, I appreciate that he's also kind of a fuck up, but he's like, oh yeah, fuck, sorry, I messed up, but I'm here to fix it. Sorry about that.
He rocks the unibrow and doesn't care.
Dude,
he just wants to be
so
a YouTuber.
Dude, he's a great character. I hope I see him more. The fucking kick that he gives in this episode, I have a screenshot of it. We'll see it in a little bit, but it is vicious. And I appreciated all of it.
Yeah, and this is what I mean about like Dan to Dan. It's like when they introduce a character, like it has meaning. Or if they have a story element that they introduced earlier, they bring it back in a way that does the breadcrumbs justice. Yeah. Like everything is calculated, it's meaningful. And that's what I appreciate. They're not doing it for the sake of doing it for characters to get screen time or anything like that. Everything that they do pushes the story forward, and not just necessarily the current arc that we're on, which is the Evil Eye arc. It pushes the entire story forward. Everything makes sense, and I can watch it knowing that when I'm analyzing it, the things I analyze will come back later on with meaning.
They show you the gun, and then you watch the gun go off, and you're like, damn, that was hype. It was great. Had a blast. Also appreciate that we saw do a kick when we saw his thick thighs.
Okay, here we go. Dan to Dan, Season 2, Episode 4. The volcano has erupted. And over the loudspeaker, it's telling everyone to evacuate the island. Kito, Lady Leader, is just yelling at Momo that it's her fault. The Great Serpent is dead, and she caused this. And the Lady Leader quotes the legend from the Shrine Guy in Episode 1. Dragon rising to heaven will cast a rainbow, and the wrath of the mountain will engulf the village. Momo is like, that's weird. Worms can't live on the surface in the sun, so why is there a legend of a dragon rising to heaven? And Momo is like, it wasn't the earthworm, it was the fountain, and the onsen exploding and casting the rainbow was a sign that the volcano was going to erupt. Momo says people in the past knew, but the interpretation of the legend got warped somewhere along the way, and she thinks about what the Shrine Dude said about people's logical thinking being changed by fear and to not repeat such sins as sacrifices. Momo picks up the dead worm with her psychic hand, and the Lady Leader is like, I'm gonna fight you, and you'll be my human sacrifice. And Momo is like, human sacrifices are dumb. And she launches the worm off the top of the stairs and then runs, and the whole Kito family runs after her. She then picks up the worm corpse again and runs with it to the onsen and puts its butt over the onsen leak spring, and she's like, water main leak sealed, and then runs again and says that if the magma flows onto the village, it's doomed, and she won't let such a shitty legend become true. And when I saw this scene, I was like, Momo's going to use the worm as a fucking fire hose. And then she grabs the head of the worm and uses it as a giant fire hose.
Yep, it was great.
The magma is slowly creeping to the village, and she's dousing it with the earthworm fire hose, but the area of effect is too large, and the wildfire is more of a threat than the magma. Then Lady Leader drop kicks Momo from behind and is like, I'm going to sacrifice you to the Lord of the Volcano. And Momo's like, hey, you changed your god, you piece of shit. Because she worshipped the worm and now she's worshiping the volcano. So that's why she said that.
Also, in the background, while she's yelling at Momo, the worm is still spewing all of the fucking the stuff.
Orange barf mixed with water.
They didn't stop. And I was like, yeah, because it wouldn't stop. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that. So thank you for keeping the continuity intact.
As the Kito family is bearing down on Momo, the Shrine Guy comes flying in and kicks all of them and is like, oh, Momo, I didn't know you were the master's granddaughter. And he says 1 week ago, she called him and said 3 kids are coming up and to watch over them. The only one to visit the shrine in the past week was a girl that was interested in Tsuchinoko's, who is Momo. So now he realizes, like, oh shit, you were the one I was supposed to be protecting. I fucked up. The Kido family attacks and the priest is beating them all up and tells Momo to focus on putting out the fire. And she says that the worm feels heavier than before and she doesn't know when she'll run out of strength. But then Evil Eye kicks soccer balls through it and then goes to axe kick the leader lady in half, but Momo saves her, and then the priest guy flying kicks Evil Eye, but then he goes to kick him and Momo saves him too. So basically Evil Eye jumped in as the third party, and now they're all trying to...
He's just indiscriminately kicking.
Yeah,
everything.
Everyone's fucking getting kicked. There's just kicks everywhere.
It's a battle royale now.
Momo says she doesn't want Gigi to become a murderer. And then she's like, hey, where's Okaroon? And Evil Eye is like, I only talk about things I want to talk about. Momo is like, man, this sucks. And the priest, lady leader, and Momo temporarily team up to try to stop Evil Eye. They fight, and Momo is able to hold Evil Eye, but he breaks her psychic hands with a soul soccer ball and then kicks the priest into a tree. And now Momo's psychic hands don't work. And as he's about to blow up Momo, Shrimp Boxer shows up and starts boxing Evil Eye. Momo is like, holy shit, what are you doing here? What about your son? And he's like, can I tell you about that later? And then from his ship descends Taro, the anatomy dummy, and Seiko. And now Mantis Shrimp Boxer and Seiko fight Evil Eye. And then Taro charges him and gets punched into a billion pieces. But that triggered the trap card because he has talismans all inside of him, and Manjiro, the priest, casts his spell, and they seal Evil Eye within Taro. So that's why my notes are so short, because I don't exactly know how to explain all of that fighting and stuff.
It's a lot of fighting, and it's like explaining fight scenes is just like weird, right? Because you're like, and then he like front flip kicks this guy, and then he spins around, and it's like, you gotta watch it. It's fucking awesome. Yeah. It's pretty rad. We find out that the Mantis Shrimp's kid is the one singing the song of Seiko as she's descending on Taro's back, and it's the hardest entrance we've seen in a TV show ever. Seiko's the fucking best.
Yes.
And that's why I have a shirt of her now.
Mantis Shrimp's ship, piloted by his son, Chikichita, is carrying the worm and putting the magma out, and Mantis Shrimp's son has just been singing this whole time. Seiko talks to Manjiro and is like, man, why you let it get this bad? And he's like, well, your communication sucks, but thanks for helping. And she's like, yeah, well, you ain't half bad either. And then Taro is like, man, I didn't know you were going to seal him inside of me. Where do I put all of my internal organs? And Seiko says, just put him in a fucking grocery bag.
Poor Taro, man. He has a person living inside of him and has to go see his girlfriend in a little bit.
Seiko is like, Momo, where's Okaroon? And Turbo Granny. But Momo is nowhere to be seen. It cuts to Mantis Shrimp and Momo running back to the house to find Okaroon. But it's all in ruins, and Momo can't use her psychic hands. But Mantis Shrimp punches the rubble away, but the hole is filled with magma, and now she thinks Okaroon is dead. Momo wants Chikichita to pour the worm juice onto the magma so she can go in, but he's like, I got you, and lifts up the magma instead, and then douses it with the worm barf, and Momo rips it open, and Okaroon is inside, holding Turbo Granny, and he says that he believed she would save him. He said that if he didn't go to save Turbo Granny, he might be dead, because the death worm orange barf mucus kept the magma out. She helps pull Okaroon out of the mucus cocoon, but his foot is still stuck, and he falls onto Momo. And he's like, oh shit, that was an accident. But then she hugs him and says, I said I would save you, but couldn't do anything. And she's glad that he's alive.
Beautiful.
That's it.
This was a beautiful episode. Beautiful. Wonderful. All the emotions. I wish the fight scene with Evil Eye was a little bit longer, just because I want to see, like, Evil Eye get beaten. It was good teamwork. Everybody comes back to beat up Evil Eye and seal him. I wish it was a little more grandiose. But then this scene, I didn't cry. Okay, first of all, I was just really happy because, like, it's really hard when you have these shows where you have the main characters and you want them to, like, you're like, you guys love each other, it's obvious. But we're waiting weeks for them to, like, embrace each other and care about each other in the ways that we care about them. And you finally have these moments, and it's like this whole buildup is just, it's wonderful. And the moments of her sadness, the actors, they do a fantastic job, both in English and in Japanese. And you have the whole fan base behind it, just really excited about it. And they do such a good job. Oh, the show is so good. So fucking good.
Dan to Dan, bangs, banger, banging, all of the tenses.
I think Dan to Dan is just so fucking good. So fucking good. And I'm really excited to watch the next few episodes. This is like one of those shows where I watch it and I'm like, I just want to read the manga now. Like, I really want to know what happens. I'm really excited because I want to be in the in-group of understanding how this show pans out.
I kind of had that feeling with My Dress Up Darling, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one. I just kind of have the idea of following the story at the pace that I'm watching it. And I feel like if I did read the manga because I wanted to know what happened next, I feel like if I let that thought of wanting to know what happened take over, I would cheapen my experience in the long run.
It's like watching the climax of a movie only. You're like, man, that buildup was crazy, and you forget all about all of the things you went through to watch it, and then you see the climax and you're like, I just want that feeling all the time. That's like when you're reading the manga. It's like you're cheapening the anime experience for yourself, which is a medium you enjoy more than the manga.
Yeah.
But this is one of those shows where I get that feeling where I'm like, oh my god, I cannot wait to see what happens next. And I know there's an available way for me to see what happens.
I would only do that if I knew the manga was complete. And that's why I even, like, for a second wavered with My Dress Up Darling and was like, maybe I'll read the manga because I know it's finished. But that's just me. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to do or you shouldn't do that. Me personally, that's just my outlook on that idea.
Thank you guys once again for tuning into another episode of the Anime Book Club podcast. Thank you to IT Aesthetics. Use code TABC10 at checkout for 10% off your order. And then also, Gamer Supps, get your delicious caffeinated beverages or caffeine free of Gamer Supps. Use code DJ Montague at checkout for 10% off your order. I have a bunch of that stuff coming in within the next couple weeks as well. I'm pretty excited about that. Greg, what's the moral of this week's story?
The moral of the story is be true to yourself and true to your feelings. Like Hikaru and Yoshiki, like Momo and Okarun, like Gojo and Marin. Follow those feelings. Don't hide them. Don't feel like you have to disguise them. Be you. Be how you feel. And tell people how you feel. Even though it's scary,
100%.
Fucking do it.
Fucking do it, dude. Greg, where can they find us?
They can find us at the Anime Book Club podcast on the Instagrams. They can find us on Spotify, where we will now be posting video podcasts as opposed to just audio. Also, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you enjoy your podcasts. You can also find us on the internet, the World Wide Web, if you will, at theanimebookclub.com.
100p. We will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for listening. Greg, tell them what time it is.
It is time to sign off.
Goodbye.
No. Goodbye.
Thank you, friends, for checking out the Anime Book Club podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
And if you don't want to miss the next one, follow us on the socials where we announce new episodes, content, and other cool stuff. You can also check out our anime list with our rankings and follow along with what we're currently watching and what we have watched in the past.
All the links are in the description. See you in the next one. Bye!